Hello again. Well, I just watched a rather interesting series of videos. I'm going to attach the link. You're not going to have to look for it. And the title is Freddie Gray. Here's the video the Freddie Gray apologists don't want you to see. Now, this is scary from a lot of perspectives. And the reason this is scary from a lot of perspectives is that what you'll notice if you watch both of these videos is there's surveillance cameras that are set up to do certain kinds of loops, continuous loops. Now, I don't believe that those cameras are just in that particular area. I think they're everywhere, not just in Baltimore, everywhere. And what you'll see is you'll see the footage of camera number 2014. Well, that tells me there's at least 2014 cameras, but I gotta believe there's a whole lot more. Now this brings a lot of questions into play. If these cameras are where I believe they are, which is everywhere, how is it that surveillance can't be done for those that destroyed the CVS pharmacy? Do you think that cameras are just in Baltimore? You don't think they were in Ferguson as well? You don't think they're pretty much everywhere? Now, when you watch these videos, you'll see things that we weren't told happened. You'll see Freddie Gray running into a building, being chased by the police. If you've watched some of my previous videos on this, I have said that what I believe happened was that Freddie Gray's neck was broken, his larynx and his voice box were crushed. I don't believe it was done intentionally. I believe it was done when an officer tried to restrain him, or officers tried to restrain him, and one had his knee on his neck. It's really that simple. It was an unfortunate accident. You can see Freddie Gray being unable to walk. His legs aren't working. He had a broken neck. I don't know if it was cracked, and then as they carried him, or tried to carry him to the van, the damage became greater than it was initially. I have no idea. But that's what I believe happened. And this Marilyn Mosby, the city prosecutor, there's no question in my mind that it was a rush to judgment. They're looking for brownie points. It's even more frightening than that. You've got the mayor who's totally out of her league, Stephanie Burke. Stephanie Burke would probably do well working at a Pizza Hut behind the counter. She's not bright enough to be in a position that she's in. And what she's doing is she's, I believe, following instructions she was given. I don't think she's bright enough to have gotten dressed in the mornings. She's asked the Department of Justice, the new district attorney for America, the new DA, Loretta Lynch, to investigate her entire police department, to review previous arrests to see if anyone's civil rights were violated. You think that's part of the plan? No different than up in Ferguson? These cameras are set up in specific areas to survey those specific areas. That's why they go into a loop. You'll see the cameras doing the same thing over and over and over again. You think maybe Marilyn Mosby should have waited until those tapes were reviewed? These officers are scapegoats for this dysfunctional administration. These officers were used to quiet the masses. That's wrong. I don't believe that they did anything intentionally to hurt Freddie Gray? I believe it was an accident. Was excessive force used? Possibly. But put yourself in the position of these policemen. Freddie Gray wasn't a stranger to them. He was arrested, 24 previous times? You sort of get tired of doing the same thing over and over and over again to try to keep the citizens in that area safe from drug dealers. I don't know, folks. Will these officers end up going to prison? Well, if Marilyn Mosby has anything to do with it, probably. I hope not, because once again, I don't think that they're guilty of any crimes. That's sort of what I think. And again, what we saw with these cameras going into a loop, these cameras are everywhere. Everywhere. In every city. You talk about Big Brother. Well, it's here. We know NSA records everything that we do, everything that we say, all of our emails, all of our tweets, all of our text messages, all of our phone conversations. And now we see that our movements on the streets are all being recorded by cameras that are set up to do exactly that. Watch the videos. Ask yourself, have we lost our freedom? It certainly appears that way. And one would wonder why the evidence in these tapes weren't presented to Marilyn Mosby and to that whacked out mayor. You know, I did a couple of videos and I talked about the similarities between the mayor of Baltimore, Stephanie Burke, and the mayor of New York, Bill de Blasio. They're both totally incompetent Democrats. You sort of get what you vote for, huh? Like that jackass in the Oval Office. I told you what I think. Watch the videos. Let me know what you think.